My name's Irfa. I'm in my third year studying medicine at the University of Manchester at the moment. I really wanted to do medicine since I was really young, and it sounds really cliche, but it has been sort of my dream since I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. And because my parents hadn't been to university, they really encouraged me to study hard from quite a young age. So I would always be reading books, I'd always get my homework done on time, and I would get called nerd and things like that in my family and also amongst my friends. But it didn't really faze me because I was achieving what I wanted to achieve and also making my parents proud at the same time. As soon as I got into high school, I started working really hard. I did know that for medicine there were some quite strict requirements in terms of the grades and the subjects, and I did my research quite early on. I started revising quite early, so a lot of the time you'll find in high school that students in year 7 or in year 8 are told not to study too hard because it doesn't count. But I think it counts. I think that if you use that time to revise before your exams, regardless of whether they go towards your GCSEs or not, but if you're using that time to find a revision method that works for you, you'll find that once you get to GCSEs and once you get to A-levels, that it did really help that you started so many years ago. Some students find it really difficult to revise because they haven't really revised before year 11. So starting earlier is not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing, and you'll look back and you'll realise how much it helped you. I've always worked quite hard, and when it got to year 11 I made sure to start my revision really early. I also got in touch with hospitals and care homes, and I got my voluntary work sorted for the following year because the waiting list was a year long. I also made sure to spend some time with my family and friends. Although I was working hard and I had a goal in mind, I didn't let that take over my life. And I think that's a big misconception for students who are studying medicine. People believe that you have to work extremely hard and that you don't really have a life outside of that, but that's not true. So by the time I got to my A-levels, I had my voluntary work, and I also had a good relationship with my teachers, and I always asked them for any extra support if I needed it. So I ended up getting some good work experience at the Christie and also at UCL through my school, which was great. And my teachers were always there to help me with my interview skills and also my revision and any extra support that I needed. And when I got my offer from my interview from the University of Manchester, I was really nervous, but I did make sure to prepare quite early on. So I was doing lots of practice interviews with teachers at school and with also my parents as well and some other family members, and I feel that that really helped. When it got to the interview, I was really nervous, but I just tried to compose myself, just think of everything that I learned over the last few years, and also just kept thinking of sort of the end goal that I had in mind. And I ended up getting an offer from the University of Manchester. I was so ecstatic, and I had worked so hard to get to that point, but I didn't let that make me complacent, so I carried on and I worked hard, and I ended up getting my grades that I needed. And then once I started medical school, it was such a big jump from being in a small sixth form of about 90 people and then going into a place where there are over 40,000 students. It was a big jump, but I did find that I felt a lot more grown up, a lot more independent, and I started to manage my time a lot better because I was in control of my own time. I didn't have a 9 to 3:30 timetable like I did in school, but I had to start planning that myself. It has been a lot of fun as well. It's not just about studying. So when I came to university, I tried to get involved in a lot of things. I'm not really a sporty person, but I do like doing doing things for charity, or just doing sort of weird and wonderful things. So I went on a 3 Peaks challenge in the Lake District, and I did a skydive as well and kayaking, and it was something that I wouldn't really consider, but I thought I should take myself out of my comfort zone, and it was a chance to meet students from different courses as well. We got to stay over in like a residential place in the Lake District, which was really nice. So now I'm in my 3rd year. It is really difficult to balance between getting all your work done and having a good time as well and spending time with family and friends. But I enjoy it, I really love it, and I think that if you've worked so hard for something and if you really have a passion for something, then you will make sure that you get the work done along with everything else as well. So I owe a lot to my mum and my dad, who have really supported me through everything. There have been times where I've just kept myself locked in my room for days trying to revise to make sure I get my grades, but they've always supported me through everything. They've never mocked me. So thank you to my mum and dad for getting me to where I am today. And I know that they'll continue to support me throughout medical school, throughout my career. And I encourage other parents to do that as well. It's just so important. Okay, shall I just add that in? Will it be added to the front? Okay. I don't know.
Okay. 11 to 12.